San Antonio, welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast with your host and favorite realtor, Brad Burns, and
still your second favorite host and realtor, Ken Carter.
And we're here today with special guest Mike G.
Come on, man, we in the building, baby. Come on,
Mike G in the building.
I love y'all setup here, man. Just again walking through, man. This whole thing, man. This is nice, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Come on.
You'd almost think we're professional.
No, hey, if you didn't tell me the backstory, I would have been, okay, this is the real deal.
All credit goes to Eric, our producer, though. Like, he puts everything together in a fantastic way. And
come on.
And good thing you ain't got any pimples or anything right now, because it'll catch it.
But is my head shiny? Is my head shiny?
We're in 4K, so we have 5,000 wrinkles on these.
Oh, man.
They gonna see your pores.
Yeah, they're gonna see them. Well, my head is shiny, man. My bad.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, when we bring people on doing cool stuff in San Antonio.
Come on.
People that are impacting the community, things like that.
Come on.
So kind of just starting off, we always started off like, what brought you to San Antonio? How'd you get here? I was born and raised. Ken's a military brat.
Okay.
Retired dependent.
Oh, yeah. I love it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I love it. Born and raised, man. Born and raised in San Antonio. I was raised on the south side of San Antonio, so I was raised on the south side and northwest. So I was in between those. But yeah, born and raised, man. Here.
So the question in San Antonio, how you figure out where exactly somebody's from? What high school did you go to?
I went to Judson.
Okay.
I went to Judson.
All the way to the other side, huh?
Red Rockets, yeah.
That's northeast side, way east side.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I was always in trouble. So when I got locked up and I came back out, my mom was like, "We're not living on the south side no more. Like, we're moving." So she sent me over there, went to Judson.
That's not a great transition.
Oh man, that was like, hey, I tell people that thing was the craziest transition ever. Like, to get from the south side to go to the military school, like it was crazy.
But it's not just military though, because you have a lot of like. At least when I graduated in 91 back in the day. So like
I was supposed to be 05.
So like the person sitting next to me like was a Crip.
Okay. Like, oh no, it's still,
you got some hood over there too.
It's still like
it's not just military. It's like,
and the neighborhood that I lived in like so there was two schools. It was either Roosevelt or Judson.
Yeah.
And on my block, literally down the middle, this side of the street went to Roosevelt. And on this side of the street, we went to Judson.
Like Park Village area?
Park Village. That's where I'm from.
Look
Park
at me.
Village. Come on. Hey, that's good.
I almost dated a girl over there once.
Oh, well, she was bad then.
You dodged the bullet.
Yeah, she was no good.
For the streets.
She was literally in the streets, for real. Yeah, no, that was the side I grew up on, man. So yeah, it was the demographics was definitely that. You had the military brats, and then you had the gangsters and everybody else. So.
That's where everybody from the east side moved to.
Yeah, and what's crazy is I tell everybody, a lot of people don't know that the city did that. That when the city was pushing everybody, that if you had probation and you got caught in the east side, they were taking you to jail. That's a violation. So everybody just went next door and went to the northeast side, and then it got pretty crazy over there.
Yeah. I worked at McDonald's. I started at the one right there on New Braunfels and I-10 on the east side.
Come on.
And then I went to 78 and Foster.
Oh man.
And like all the customer base was like 78 and Foster was people that were from the east side that moved over there. Now they felt like they were north side, so they were like the two good east siders, you know what I mean?
Hey,
like, you just moved, like
you just moved. You just got the zip code.
You went from Denver Heights to Sunrise. Come on now.
Hey, it is a little upstate. It is just a tad bit, man. But
all of our old school San Antonio's like, man, I know all those neighborhoods.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, Park Village, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah. So tell us the story. What are we doing now?
So now I work for a prosthetic company, man. I help people get prosthetic legs. I've been doing it. In October, it's going to be 6 years that I've been doing it. So basically, my job is to, again, convince people to cut their leg off. I work with trauma doctors and vascular surgeons. You would think that I thought trauma would be the main source of amputations, but it's diabetes. Diabetes is the number one. I mean, I didn't know that sugar and all of that stuff was that bad. Like, people are losing their toes and legs and
kidneys and
man, all types of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's my biggest demographics. But again, I work with doctors that take on call and stuff. So whenever there's a bad accident, someone comes in and they can't do nothing for their leg, you know, my job is to go over there and convince them that, you know, life after with a prosthetic is a lot better. So that's what I've been doing now. Again, in October it'll be 6 years.
Nice. Well, let's rewind that. So you're doing that now. Like, how did you go from Judson to that?
Come on, man.
I know there were some stops in between.
Oh man, it started at Judson. That's what I was saying. Yeah. So I mean, just growing up, I kind of had a crazy upbringing. You know, again, I was just wild. I was, you know, first time I got arrested I was 11 years old. And so after that, I just was in and out. And then again, the way that I got to Judson was I was locked up, ended up coming out. And when I came out, I was in a new neighborhood. Again, you know, nothing changed about me. So that lifestyle kept, you know, creeping up. And I just kept into my adult life, just kept getting in trouble. In and out of prison, in and out of jail. Just couldn't stay out of trouble, man. I mean, if
just kept finding it.
It's fun.
Oh,
at the end of the day,
man,
trouble's a lot of fun. Some of my most fun I've ever had in my life. I got my ass beat by my dad afterwards.
Hey, I tell people I had the most fun, and it was crazy because there was literally like no rules. You know, you do what you want and however you want, and you know, there's no consequences for it.
Until there are.
And so again, I was a club promoter. Just throughout the bad choices, couldn't get no jobs. It was a drug dealer. I would just go to clubs. I would go to nightclubs and just buy bottles and buy shots and just bring a bunch of people with me. And so one day a club owner was like, you know, hey, have you ever thought about being a club promoter? And I was like, you know, what is that? Yeah. You know, what do they do? She's like, basically what you do now. You know, but you post about it, you market it, and I was like, oh, you know, at that time I was about to get on house arrest because I was, you know, going through my craziness. I was catching cases and stuff, and I was about to be on house arrest, and she was like, man, we can't lose your money and your, you know, the people that you bring. So she's like, well, what if we say that, you know, I'll tell them. So I was like, all right. So I go to court. I go to court the next week, man, and I tell the judge, like, hey, I'm a club promoter, and you know what's gonna happen with that. So they called the club. The club was like, yeah, he's a club promoter. Basically, he shows up at 5:00, and you know we don't leave till about 3:30 because we gotta count money, gotta stock up, and so they would turn off my monitor at 5:00 till 3:30 in the morning. So from 5:00 to 3:30 in the morning, I was a drug dealer at the time. I was doing my drops. I was doing all my stuff, and then at night, I wasn't really promoting. I was just saying I was, but I would show up to that club. I would go to different clubs, and that's what I was doing. And so
she protected her business, huh?
Hey, big time. And you know what's so crazy is like looking back at it now, I realized that it was like, man. We went through lengths to like, hey, we need this VIP section to be on lock. And so one night I was leaving one of the clubs. I was at 8811 off of Fredericksburg or whatever it is. Yeah. It was called 8811, and I was leaving one of those clubs. I was out promoting my clubs and just telling everybody like, hey, you know, we're gonna be here. Got into a fight and I broke my hand. And in the process of breaking, I was on a motorcycle that night. So again, you know, trying to shift the gears and do all of that was kind of impossible.
Yeah, that left hand.
Yeah, and so my friend got on my bike and I got in his car and my monitor's about to turn on. You know, we got into a fight outside the club. The club closes at 2. We're still out there about 3-something, you know, fighting, and they're trying to get us out and.
Everybody's hyped up.
Everybody's hyped up. And I was like, man, I was one of the main ones. And so I get into the car, man, and then his gas tank is on E. And I'm like, dude, like, come on, man. First of all, you at the club, and the gas tank is on E, first of all.
Gas tank.
He was like, hey, we getting there. So I'm like, I tell him, like, hey, there's no gas. And so we pulled over. There's a gas station right there. But at this time, there was, like, the self-pay on the pumps or nothing. So he tries to go like over there to the thing, and I'm like just sitting in the car. I'll never forget, man. I'm sitting in there, and in that split second I was like, man, I'm gonna get on this bike. Like I gotta go. And so I get on the bike and I kind of like use my wrist and kind of, try to push it into gear. And I got it the best way I could, man. And I got on the highway. I ended up right here I go down Fredericksburg to Medical. Warsbach, get on the highway. And so I get on the highway and I'm going over 100 miles an hour and I pass up a cop right there, like at the underpass where the Chachos is at on I-10.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going over 100 miles an hour, man. I pass up this cop and sure enough, he turns on his lights and I'm like, man, I got dope in my pocket. I got a GPS monitor on my ankle. I'm 3 times over I found out after, but I was 3 times over the limit.
Well, you knew you were at least 2.
Yeah. I was at least 2, yeah. And so I'm speeding, man, and I don't have a helmet, and so I keep looking back to see where he's at. And the next thing I know, I'm looking back. I'm beating them like it's a straightaway, and
Well, they used to chase you on the bikes. Now they don't chase as much. I don't think.
I like watching those videos. Yeah, those videos. I'm like, dude, like
say drop a gear and disappear.
And see, I shouldn't have been on the bike. I only had that bike 2 weeks. I had no business. I was just a drug dealer that had money, and I was able.
You never had a bike before that?
I had one, and I had it for 2 weeks, and I wrecked that one. Yeah. So my my little girl's mom told me when I was buying the bike, she's like, "You're gonna kill yourself. Like you're stupid." I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Proved her wrong.
Yeah, I'm still alive. Again, I had the bike 2 weeks, man, and again, I was beating the cop, and I just kept looking back to see where he was at. But again, going over 100 miles an hour with no glasses, no helmet on, you can barely see. So by the time I was going to exit Vance Jackson, and I was exiting on I-10 to Vance Jackson, there was an SUV that was right there, and I tried to get out of the way to like move out of hitting the back of it, and I hit the wall, and then came back and hit the SUV. And during that time, I slid like 500 feet. My head was all torn up. My ankle basically turned around twice. And so the next thing I know, I'm in the access road. The same cop that was chasing me is the same cop that found me. Ended up calling the ambulance and stuff. They took me to the hospital. They thought I was gonna die. They didn't know who I was because I had nothing on me. So they were like, call the jail. This guy has this thing on there, so they called down there, and I just was barely on probation, like maybe 2 weeks. And so the probation officer shows up to the hospital. He's like, I don't even know who this guy is. Like, I've never seen him, but if this was on that foot, this is the guy that it is. And so they basically told them that I was going to die. Told my probation officer, like, he's gonna die, or his road to recovery is very long. That it's like, if y'all are here, basically they have to have a cop there. So sitting outside my door, he went to the judge and told the judge, like, hey, he's gonna die. Like, he's not, So the judge let me off.
On probation?
Let me on probation. They said, hey, cut it.
Punished enough.
Punished enough. Hey, that afternoon I wake up. That afternoon I wake up. And the first thing that I'll never forget, when I wake up, my brother, he's running to me. He's like, bro, oh my God, bro, they left you off paper. They cut you off, like, you're not on probation no more. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, they basically thought you were gonna die. You're not on probation. I'm like, there's no way. Like, they let me off. They just nothing. They didn't even get me for the DWI that night. And so,
wow.
Yeah. And so that led into everything else. As far as, again, I went through this season of trying to save my foot, and during that time, I almost 18 months, 23 surgeries. I just was like, I can't do this.
So it wasn't the same night you got
No, it wasn't the same night. They tried to save it, and at the same time, I was like, man, you're not gonna cut my foot. Like, hell no, what do you mean, So 18 months, did 23 surgeries. I ended up cutting the foot. After that, I was probably without a prosthetic leg for almost a year. And then somebody reached out to me, because at that time I was doing comedy and doing some stuff. So a bunch of people would reach out to me, and I had this guy that worked at a prosthetic company. He's like, hey, I stole everything to build you a leg out of my backyard. And he literally built me a prosthetic leg in his backyard.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that leg, my friend found that, it was somebody else's prosthetic leg. But this part of, let me take it off. this part of it is specifically made for us. But the foot was my size, right side, everything.
That's perfect.
Perfect. God is the way God sets things up, you know. And then there was that prosthetic leg that broke when I was at Six Flags with my friend's son. He was a 10-year-old fighting cancer at the time. And they basically said, you know, if you want to live, we got to cut your foot off. And, you know, he was, you know, as a normal 10-year-old, like, what do you mean, you know? Yeah. And so they asked if they had any friends that if they knew anybody. And they were like, yeah, your dad's friend. And I had been going over there at that time to their house maybe like 2 to 3 months, almost every day to their house. Kid never saw my prosthetic, just saw me getting around normal. So when he saw it, he again my leg broke at Six Flags with him during his chemo days. And when it broke, man, he called the news and asked the news if they can help me get another prosthetic leg. And so when they ran the story, they did like 4 stories on me, went viral. A bunch of prosthetic companies reached out to say like, hey, we'll build him the leg. And I not only did I get a leg, but I got a job, you know, helping people get prosthetic. That's awesome. Yeah, so it was a crazy journey, man, to go from all of that to what it is now. You know, it still blows my mind.
I read a lot of like Stoic philosophies and stuff like that and everything like that, and you never know what's going to happen from something.
Yeah.
And like from tragedy to triumph, like really quick and stuff like that.
Come on, yeah. I like that. From tragedy to triumph, man. That's deep. Yeah.
So did you have a motorcycle? I've got one question about the accident. Yeah. Like, did you have a motorcycle? You only had it for 2 weeks. Did you have a motorcycle license?
No, I didn't even have a driver's license.
So I've got a titanium rod in this.
No
leg.
way.
So I destroyed a Harley one time.
Oh wow.
And I got a ticket for not having a motorcycle license.
Yeah.
Like of all the things, I'm like, what the heck, dude? Like I am like I didn't lose my leg or anything, but like I'm in lane.
Dude, you don't want that titanium no more.
Why do you want titanium?
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah.
My guy sells legs door to door.
Yeah, man, I got you, man. I mean, you'll only be sitting down for about 2 to 3 weeks. You know, 2 to 3 weeks, I get you up.
The ankle's still tight. Like I don't have the flexibility in my ankle.
And see, that's why I cut mine, because basically what they wanted to do is they wanted to fuse my ankle like this, and you know, they wanted me to put a rocker at the bottom of my shoe, and I was like, come on, dog. Like I can't do that. And so I chose to cut it. But when I cut it, again, my process, I didn't have insurance. So when I cut it, it was like, you know, I show up to these prosthetic companies like, hey, I'm here to get a prosthetic leg. They're like, you know, you got $30,000-$40,000, and I was like, whoa.
Dang, is that what they run?
Yeah, this one right here is about $30,000.
You got a car on your leg.
I have a car, yeah, and again, it's crazy that I mean this foot alone is 5,000. That foot, and that's what they buy it at. That's not what, you know, people sell it at or whatever. That's what it costs to get it. So people don't know in Texas that if you are between the ages of 17 and 64 or 65, between 17 and 65, if you get into like an accident like this and you don't have the proper insurance, you don't get covered. Like Texas is not going to give you a leg. And so when that happened with me, I went almost a year without a leg, just trying to figure it out until I did get that one. And so I always tell people, man, the process now, what I do, I work with foundations that help pay for prosthetic legs for patients that don't have insurance and stuff. And San Antonio is a population that a lot of people don't have health care. Yeah. And it's crazy that the amount of people that I have to tell, like, hey, you like, I know you cut your leg off right now, but you know, the reality is you're not going to get a prosthetic leg at least for a year. Like, we have to find somebody to donate their services, their time, or whatever it is that we need for your leg. And so it is pretty crazy to see that side of the you know, the insurance part of it. It's crazy.
What are some of the foundations y'all have that like help cover that stuff?
The biggest one that I would say is Steps of Faith, man. That's the one that is, I think they're based out of Colorado. But basically what they do is they partner with a prosthetic company like us. So my prosthetic company, a lot of prosthetic companies don't want to do it because they're basically saying, hey, we're gonna they buy all the stuff, all the parts. We just tell them what we need. They buy it all. They give it to us, and then we build it for free. So our practitioner is not getting paid for it. They're not paying like nothing like that. So
we're not passing it down.
Yeah. And so they're basically like, hey, we'll buy the parts, but y'all got to build it, and not only that, but the time to build it, to get the patient to walk, to assess them and adjust them. Do the walking back and forth. Not only that, but the time that they come back and forth. Company loses a lot of money just to say, hey, we're not gonna book anything at this time. We're just gonna do this pro bono. And so a lot of companies don't do that. But my company, again, me being there, I was like, hey, this is important to me. Like so I come in there all the time, like. Hey, they're like, Mike, we just did a whole bunch of them. I'm like, yeah, but I got one more. They're like, Mike, you're gonna come next week, and you're gonna be like, I got one more. I mean, I literally drive, like, it's crazy. I'm working on a guy right now. I saw him in HEB, and this dude was flying on this wheelchair, man. But he had 2 sons with him, and they're about my son's ages. They're teenagers, and I'm like, man, like. If he had a leg, he would be able to do everything. So, again, I don't have no shame in going up to people and like, hey, hey, do you need a prosthetic? So, literally, last week, I went up to him, asked him if he needed a prosthetic, and he was like, yeah, like, I don't have insurance, though. And so I was like, man, don't even worry about it. Got him with steps of faith, man, and within literally, I want to say 2 days, we got him approved for a leg. So I'll have a video coming out of him. But, from last week, him not ever thinking that he'll get a prosthetic leg to me finding him in HEB, and then next week he's going to be taking his first steps, and
that wasn't a random meeting.
And then I told him that. I said, hey, I want to let you know, like, because when I called him, because they were like, hey, he got approved. Like, you want to call him? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, hey, like, I want to let you know that God loves you, man. Like, I don't know what your story is, what's going on with you. I said, but, God loves you, man. And if he's allowing me to be a part of your life, I know how much he loves me. So if I know what he's done for me, man, I could just imagine what he's going to do for you, man. And so, again, that's part of the job that is the upside of it, man. It's to help somebody get back what I got, get your mobility back, for sure.
Yeah, to be able to see somebody and just, like, have an immediate impact in their life.
Come on, man.
Just because, like, you had the opportunity to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
So that's like a bright side of it. Like, how many people would you say you run into that don't get approved?
Oh, man.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
I would say I'm probably like a week that I'm telling people, like, no. I would say a good at least 7 to 10 people that
every week.
Yeah, every week that, because again, I see the patients. I see most of the patients right after their amputation, but a lot of the times the doctors get me in with them like right before the amputation. They're like, hey, we're gonna bring in this amputee. He's gonna talk to you. And I see it then. So a lot of times I see it and I'm just like, man, like, they're going to kick this guy out of the hospital right away. Like, he's not going to rehab. He's not going, and so those conversations are hard with them because I have to prepare them like, hey, this is what's going to happen. And like, are you prepared? Like, and a lot of the times they think, I'm going to get my leg cut out. I'm going to go to rehab. And it's like, they're not going to accept you. Like, you don't have no insurance. And so I just kind of brace them for that, like, the whole process. But I also let them know, like, we're going to get you something. I just don't know how long it's going to take. There's different qualifications and applications that you have to put in. But, yeah, no, so I would say about 7 to 10. So about a month, man. I would say that's a good, it's a good 30-something, man. And it's crazy to try to keep them motivated to say, hey, we're going to get you something. Just... we don't know when, though.
What's the, what are some of the main reasons people don't qualify for?
So there's some foundations that, again, so for me, when I went through, I tried to go through a foundation, I had a felony on my record. So they didn't like that I had a felony. And some of their donors are like, hey, we'll donate, but it just can't, no one with a felony. No one with a felony record. Some of the foundations that I work with, again, you have to be a U.S. citizen. I get a lot of people that come from Mexico that fall off the train and get their leg run over, or have got in trouble in Mexico, lost their leg, come to the United States, and again, they don't have papers, they don't have a green card or something, so they get denied. Sometimes if the foundations, if they want them to go back to work, they're like, hey, we'll pay the $15,000, we'll pay the whatever it's going to cost, we'll pay it, but we want them to, somebody that's going to go back to work, somebody that's actively looking for work or something. So those are just some of the things, and you would be surprised that, and again, it's just crazy that some people would rather choose the food stamps and the disability check,
the guaranteed check is hard to beat.
The guaranteed check to say, hey, I'm going to live like this. I don't need the leg. Like, man, forget that leg. Like, I can't lose. And I get it, but that's an interesting thing, because, like, say just eating over $25,000 a year that you're getting from disability, probably more, maybe, but just
probably less.
I would say less. When I was getting disability, I was getting $750. $750.
So say $10,000 a year. Say you're willing to give up your leg. Would you, like, if you went up to anybody like me or Brad right now?
That's a good way to put it.
Would you give up your leg for $10,000 a year?
For $10,000. That's a good way to see it. Yeah.
And people say yes.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is, right? Man,
that's wild.
But I think it's a lot of it probably goes back to some sort of, like, that's a very traumatic experience. And like you were just talking about the HB Foundation for Mental Health.
Yeah.
I'm sure that highly affects a lot of the mental health aspect of people.
Big time.
Yeah.
Because, like, you change their whole world in a split second.
I have seen patients get their leg cut off. And again, my job is what I tell the doctors is, hey, send me all your patients that you're doing. All the patients that you're amputating, I'll take care of them. I'll get them a prosthetic leg. So I call the patients every week. Sometimes I have 40, sometimes I have 10. It just depends on where they are in the pipeline. But I call them every week and I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And I'm hearing my light just got turned off, and I just lost my job. I lost my insurance because I can't go back to work because I don't have a leg. Now, we were in the process of getting their leg and their insurance got canceled because they can't go to work. And so I get good phone calls and I get bad phone calls. And so it's crazy to see the different demographics, because again, it's awesome to have the patients come in with, hey, I got insurance, and hey, man, you're in and out. We're getting you, but
everybody gets paid and you don't worry about nothing.
No one's got to worry about nothing. Insurance, everything's documented. They're sending the check. We're good, But it's those patients that again just don't qualify, man, and it's a sad thing, and that's why again I try to pull from my own experiences and say, man, like, hey, we got to do this. And so the company's good, I know they and it's coming out of their pocket, and it's not like it's not coming out of somebody's pocket. Yeah. It is. And again, I'm just glad that they take chances on me, and they're like.
And ultimately, it's probably a small business.
What?
Like the company you work for is probably not a huge company.
I'd say we're small, but we are huge. We got seven companies, so we got we got 3 in Houston, 3 in Houston, 1 in Austin, 1 here, and then 1 in Corpus. Right?
But that's still like relatively small compared to like a University Health, or like compared to like some big thing
like a bigger entity, for sure. But again, I always tell them, like, coming up on 6 years, man, like, I always tell people this is like God ordained. They may have gave me the job, but God used them. Like, God had this plan from the from the beginning. I always tell people that I think I had to go through that time of those 2 years of not having a leg, almost having a leg, because I needed to see what some of these patients are going through, because I can sit there and tell them, like, I know what you're going through. Like, I've been there. Yeah. I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. So to see that happen, man, it's good, man. But
so do you like this might be like a dumb question or funny or whatever, but do you like purposely wear shorts when you go to some of those meetings so they can see?
I always wear shorts. Yeah, the only time that
it's hot in San Antonio too.
Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah, no, but I love wearing the prosthetic, because again, this is who I am, man, and I embraced it now. Where, I mean, I want other amputees, you know, to see me, and they're like, and again, I get it all the time. You know, they're like, dude, how are you walking like that? Because I make it look like it's easy, but it's not. Like, if you would have saw the very first stages of me walking, like, you'd be like, there's no way.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
And how many people give up, like, when they just get to walking like that?
Oh, man. And I see that a lot, man. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of leg I build you if you don't put in the work.
It's going to suck for a little bit.
And that's the thing that most of them give up, because they're just like, man, I'm not getting it. I'm like, you're not going to get it right now. Like, keep putting it on, keep walking. And it's really crazy to say, just keep taking that step. Yeah. Like, just keep taking it. And again, eventually, I almost feel like the Forrest Gump thing. Like,
just one more.
Where he's just walking and he's like jogging, and then the brace just starts falling apart. And he's
slow
just
motion.
Like, yeah. He's just, like, that's how I feel now, where I just like, I you know, sometimes, again, it sounds crazy, but I feel like, you know, I still have my leg. Like, you couldn't tell me. I still do everything. You know?
Yeah. Everything. I would say I see you on Facebook, like, you kayaking and like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, climbing mountains and snowstorms, and I do it all, man. And again, that's really what I want to tell people is, like, you can still, like, and it's not only this with an amputation, but it's anything that you go through. Like, no matter what it is, you got to find the good in it. And not only that, but during this time, I had to find the funny and all of it.
Just thinking that.
You have to find the funny. Like, I remember I was a drug dealer at the time, and I was selling drugs, and I was like, who is not going to rob a one-legged drug dealer? Like, I have to change. Like, I can't. But
you can't chase anybody.
Yeah, what am I gonna do when they run off? Like, you know, like, I'm putting myself in a bad position.
You got two choices. You either gotta shoot or take the loss.
And I'm probably gonna shoot, because it's like, like, I gotta. You're not just gonna do me like that. You know
and then you can't get away.
Yeah, like, what am I gonna do? And so
you got an interesting description. There's a guy with a prosthetic leg.
And so I knew at that time, I was like, but, you know, I don't have no skills like that. I can't build stuff. I can't, you know. So at that time when I lost my leg, it was literally like, what am I gonna do? And I'll never forget, man. You know, they always say, if you are ever in a tight spot and you don't know what to do, like, man, call out to God, and he'll answer you. I didn't call him out like most people do. I cussed him out, because I applied for one of those places to do the prosthetic leg. I got a phone call August 29th, 2018, and they were like, hey, you know, the lady was all excited. Hey, Mr. Garza, how you doing? I'm like, you know, I've been waiting on this lady. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, I'm sorry to tell you, but, you know, you got denied for the prosthetic leg. And I was like, why were you so happy? Why are you so energetic? Like, man.
We say when we buy, like, we buy houses a lot of times from people that are in distress and stuff like that. And whenever, like, that's when you're offering a low price. You can't go in there, hey, guess what? We're going to pay you this.
Like, hey, you got to go in and kind of like, oh,
man, I'm sorry.
It's not really what we wanted, but hey, we're, you know. And so, but she was just energetic, man.
Got you.
Yeah, she did. And so, I'll never forget, man. I'm sitting in that wheelchair, man. And I don't even know what she was saying. She was just, like, saying some stuff.
After she said that, like, everything else blanked
out. Like, it's like a movie, right? Like, you're like, phone just drops, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'll never forget, man. I'm sitting there in my wheelchair. My son at the time, he's probably like 2 months, and my daughter, she's, you know, 18 months at the time, and I'm literally just sitting there. I'm like, I just start cussing God out. I was like, man, F you, God. Like, why the hell am I going through this? Like, I'm like, what am I here for? Like, I was yelling. Like, excuse me. I was yelling. I was going off. Man, excuse me. I was going off. I was just cussing. I was like, man, F you, F your mama, the Virgin Mary. She ain't know who your dad was. Like, that's why she's, and looking back at it now. Looking back at it now, I'm always like, I always hear, I always hear like the people say like, it says in the Bible, like if you blaspheme God, like you're going to hell, right? I'm like, God, like, man, my bad. Like, hey, I didn't mean that, but I always tell people like that's how broken I was. That again, God wasn't a thing in my life. My family are devil worshipers. They actively practice, witchcraft and stuff like that. So Jesus was never a thing for us, and so I was just blaming him for everything. I cry. I go to sleep. I wake up. Family's starting to come back from school and work. So, you gotta like
shake it up.
Like you just didn't have a nervous breakdown, right? Like, hey, moving around in the wheelchair. And, I'm sitting there and watching them. And this is about 4 hours later now. And I'm watching a movie and I'm sitting with my wife at the time. And we're sitting down and I get a text message. And it's my friend Gina. At the time, she was going by Gina Shots. She was like a club promoter. And she's like, and again, we were cool, but I didn't really know her like that. Like we probably said 20 words to each other. Yeah, like we were at the club. Hey, take a picture, post it on Facebook. Hey, we're at the club. Showing love, whatever. But I didn't know her like that. And at this time, I probably hadn't talked to her in about 2 years. And again, she texts me and she's like, "Hey, Mike, I'm sitting in Bible study right now, and I feel like God is telling me to invite you to church this Sunday." And I was like, dude, I just cussed this dude out. I was like, man.
So you trying to set me up?
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, man, they're gonna jump me. Like he's got his disciples there. Like, man, I'm messed up.
I can't even get away. I got one leg.
Yeah, for real. And so I was like, and I told her, I was like, you know what? I'll be there. Like I'll be there. That whole week, man. Like looking back at it, the spiritual side of the attacks, like knowing it now was like. It was crazy that week because everything was like, you're not going to this church. Like, you're not doing this. So that morning I get up and we were going to take the kids, but me and my wife were like, hey, let's just go. So we pull up to the church and I get out of the parking lot and I was like, I'm going to smoke. Like, I'm going to get high right here. And she's like,
get my mind right.
Yeah, she's like, we're in the parking lot. I'm like, man, these Christians want me, I was still like that. And I'm smoking, I'm blowing it in my clothes, and I'm like, hey, I'm ready.
You walked in danky.
Yeah, danky. Like y'all gonna know. Here's a sinner. And so I crutch in the church because again I still didn't have a leg. I crutch in the church. I'm sitting on the last row, man, and they do the music and. I've never really been in a church. I've been in church in prison, but I've never been in a church like out here. So. Again, the music, man. The music was what was breaking me down, and the guy was just singing, and he was singing, "You're everything to me," and he was telling God like, "You're everything to me," and so that like kind of like broke me down, and then the pastor goes up there and he's doing his sermon, and about an hour into his sermon, man, he's like mid talking, and he just stops and he's like, "Hey, you back there, pick your hand up," and I'm like. I'm like, ooh, and he's like, you. I'm like, so I pick my hand up and, he starts prophesying over me and he just starts telling me that God was going to use my life and everything that I've ever been through, God was going to use it for his good. And, everything that he prophesied, he was going off on his prophecy. And I think it's like 17 minutes long that he's just, again, prophesying over my life. And everything that he's pretty much prophesied is happening like right now, like as we speak. And it's crazy because I would have never thought the way that I introduced myself to God like that. I never thought that he would come with the love that he did, but we always look at it in the human sense of the flesh. Yeah. Like, I know what I would do if someone called out to me like that, but he's different. And I always tell people, I think you got to be broken enough to be able to hear him. And
I think first of all, just looking at it, like, one, you had to acknowledge him.
Come on.
And if you didn't acknowledge him, like, even though it was out of anger and it was all of that, like, you had to do the, like, hey, if I'm going to cuss you out and I'm saying that you're real.
Yeah. And my thing with that, like looking back at it now, even if you showed up and whooped me, like, all right, cool, you real.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that fade. Like, we'll run it, but I know you're real. And that was my thing. And again, you know, people tell me all the time, like, you know, how do you know God is real? And I'm like, well, you know, I called him out. I called his mama the Virgin Mary. Like, I'm like, and the one that showed up, like, it was him. You know, if I can understand if I said somebody else's name, but I was like, yo, God, like the Virgin Mary, like I specifically called out him, and so, you know, looking back at it now, man, I you know, not only that, but now I'm a lead speaker to a juvenile detention program, where they give first time offenders their chance to not get a felony on their record. So most of these kids have picked up a felony at school, and instead of sending them to jail and giving them that record, they let them go through a program where they got to do 6 weeks of this program and then a 90-day probation. And I'm the lead speaker of that. Like I'm one of the ones that I've been there probably 5 years now, I want to say. And so again, just to be able to go back and speak about my life, and it's crazy because it's literally in the neighborhood that was down the street from where I grew up. And so I'm like, dude, I know what it is. Like, I've been there.
Well, I think now it's easier than ever to catch a felony at school. Like, all you need is one of those pins.
Yeah, that's it.
And they're popping them.
Yeah.
Hey, and then you know what's so crazy is that's the main.
I bet.
That's the main thing. And you don't even have to be the one with it, but if you are in there in that restroom, everybody is getting in trouble, because guess what? Everybody's it wasn't mine. It was theirs, and no one's taking it by themselves. And so that is the number one thing of that program in the Southwest District. Is that's bad. But I'm
not just the Southwest.
It's not just the
everywhere.
Southwest.
Yeah. My Jennifer, my ex-wife, she was teaching at Alma Heights, but she was in the Excel, where they do the credit recovery, as well as the not so good kids that are going over there, and they had to make it where restroom. These are kids that are 17, 18 years old, 16 years, like older kids, and they had to, like, nobody gets to go to the bathroom until we all go to the bathroom. We get one restroom break in the morning, we get one in the afternoon.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go with you, because every single time coming out smelling like weed and the pins and everything, and there's no way to control it. There's like, you can't. These kids are hiding them. There's no. And they get felonies. The cops get called.
That's the number one place that they're getting caught, is in the restroom. That's like, because there's no cameras. That's where they can go in there. Where, you know, the teachers and stuff can't just be in there just like that. So. But yeah, no, it's crazy, you know, to go through all of that and to start now using it. Like I'm 39 years old, man, and I probably had my own place, I want to say now, for maybe 4 years now, that I've been a couch surfer my whole life. Never had anything, never wasn't doing anything, man. And again, why God, I always say I think God chose the worst person to clean up, to show everybody that was, because I know a lot of people, right? And I feel like God chose the worst one to clean them up and be like, hey, if I can do this with this guy, like, imagine what I could do with everybody. Because I mean, again, I think, you know, just everything. I know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just know me. And I always tell people, man, if he can use me the way he has, like, I think you're a lot better than me. Like, imagine what he could do with you, you know?
I think a couple, like, even just going back to there.
You're trying to sell to the sinners.
Hey, for real.
But even going back to, like, you're helping the kids prevent from getting a felony.
Yeah.
And literally, if something happens and they lose their leg, they can't get into the program to get a new leg because they have a felony from a pen at school.
It's crazy.
And like, it's crazy, like how it just lines back up.
And I tell them that, like, I go through the experience of, because again, I've been a felon, so I never put anything in my name, never did any of that stuff. So when I finally was like, dude, I guess I got to start getting my life together, like, and starting to do a lot of this stuff that I'm doing now. It's like, I tell these kids, like, man, do you know how hard it was for me to get my very first apartment, for somebody to say, hey, you got this, you know, crazy background, but we're gonna take a chance on you and let you in the apartments. Like, it's crazy that you did something when you were a kid, and it just follows you throughout your life.
And they're too young and too immature and too ignorant of the world to realize that these games that they're playing and this fun that they're having, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It affects them for the last 80 years of their life because of small decisions.
And that's the thing that I try to get across to them. Is like, I know you don't see it now. Like it's hard. It's all fun and games right now. You know, it's you don't really see it. But man, if you get this on your record, and that class, they probably start off with like 14, 15 kids, and by the time it's done, there's probably like 9. And it's sad to see these kids go, but I mean, it's literally something like, hey, don't be tardy. You can't. There's a 0 policy. Cannot be tardy. If we give you an assignment, you got to do the assignment. You don't want to participate, and you see these kids, and they're like, well, I don't care, and they're just sitting there, and then it's like you see them lose their spot, and they get kicked out. And I always tell them, like, there's no other program like this in the state at all. This is the first of its kind. And it's in the Southwest District. I'm like, y'all are super blessed. You don't even know how blessed you are that this program was in this side of town.
And the hard part is at that age, you know everything.
You know everything, and that's.
I wish I knew as much as I knew when I was a kid. Yeah, like, because I knew it all.
Hey, I always tell people.
Cop those cases.
Yeah, for real. That's the first thing that I tell them. I said, hey. This should tell you that you're not good at the criminal. This should tell you right here, like, you are not good.
If you're gonna be bad, you got to be good at it.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I got away for a little while. I didn't get caught my very first time, like, and so it's just crazy to try to go back and try to tell these kids, like, but again, some of them, man, the circumstances that they live in, like, I mean, one of these kids that I had, the mom was in prison and the dad was passed away because the mom set the dad up and got him taken out. And so now the kid is living with family that family don't really care about him. He's a bad kid and such. And so
he's almost 18.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, once you're that age, for them, they're like, hey, you got to go. And so you see some of these kids, and I always look back at my situation, the stuff that I went through with my mom and all of that. Like, I held on to that as long as I could, because I was like, oh, this is so messed up. Oh, look at my life. And I really was like, man, this was all for a reason. Like, when I really saw my story and was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it differently. Like, I'm gonna take ownership of this and figure out what I gotta do. And I always tell people, like, it's okay to feel sorry for you, because a lot of us are going through some tough things, but it's when you find out, like, man, I can't, like, if I don't change this, like, this is what it's going to be. And man, when I figured that out, man, it was like, all right, at least we're trying now. Because before, we weren't trying. We were doing whatever we wanted to do. But I think that's the main thing, man, is when you're going through that ugly part, it's easy just to say, hey, it's all messed up. Hey, I'm just going to sit here. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I do it sometimes still where I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, come on, man. You gotta get up. You gotta do this.
I think that's where it kind of just boils to, like, you think of the people that grew up in broken homes and craziness, and they'll blame that on that situation. And then you look at people that grew up in quote unquote perfect homes, and they got jacked up stuff going on. Yeah. Because they never had to experience any hardships and things like that. Yeah. So it's like, I heard Zig Ziglar talk about it one time. It was twins, and the dad was an alcoholic. And one twin was like a CEO, and the other one was an alcoholic. Yeah. And he asked him, like, individually, like, what happened? Like, how'd you get here? Like, well, I didn't have a choice. My dad was an alcoholic.
But then...
both had the same answer.
Yeah. But one of them used it as fuel, and the other one used it as an excuse to...
Yeah, and that's crazy that you say that, because I the thing with the prosthetic legs, I have 2 patients coming, the same stuff. One's like, hey, I didn't take care of myself, and I let my diabetes get out of control, and this is my fault. And then you got the other one that's like, man, it's out of control. This thing got cut. man, I'm on it now.
Let's move on.
And they get the leg, and now they're sending me pictures of them doing 5K walks and doing all types of stuff, and they're like new, healthy. And you got the other patient that's just like, I'm done. My life is over. I can't do this. And again, it's really a mental fight, man. And it's sad to see that a lot of people's upbringing, man, didn't really prepare them for that. It was, hey, this is our situation, and it sucks, and everybody, look at all these rich people, and they're the problem.
They're perfect,
and it's like no, somebody stopped and was like, hey, I gotta break it.
It stops here.
It stops here, man. It can't keep going. It's wild, man. It's wild.
How often do you get thanked for your service in the military?
Oh man, dude. Man, if not only that, but
question.
I already know, like, people see people with a prosthetic, they're like, oh, bro, thank you for your service. Like, you look like you were in the military.
What part of me, besides I tell people.
Well, all the young military got the tattoos, the beard, like.
I'm like, off shirt. Yeah, I'm like, what branch? And they're like, oh.
All you need to go is get one of those, was it the grunt style or whatever t-shirt?
Right? No, man, you wouldn't believe, man. I get it a lot. Not only that, but like, when I go to the bar or something, I have people come up to me and they're like, hoorah! And they're like, I'm like, I'm sitting there drinking my beer, and they just hoorah! I'm like, they have a shot. I'm like, oh no. They're like, oh, well, hey, thank you for your service. I'm like, no, I wasn't in the service, man. I was drinking and driving. They're like, hey, you should see their face when they walk away.
Hey, bro, you really shouldn't be here.
I'm like, hey, I'll take the shot though. They're like, no, I'm like, get out of here. But you should see their face when they see that, I'm like, oh no, I was drinking and driving. They're like, no, I'll take that. Thank you.
They say hoorah. You're like, nah, Southside.
Yeah, for real.
I hope you talk about that in your comedy.
No, I did. Hey, that is actually one of my bits. But I mean, you wouldn't believe, man. And I try to stay in on Memorial Weekend, all these holidays, bro. I try to stay in because I mean they.
Hey, don't steal the Valor. We'll go get them discounts, bro.
Yeah. They'll be like, you try to steal Valor? No, it's a lot, for sure. But I'm always like, man, I don't know what part of me looks like the military, but hey, I'll take it.
You're in San Antonio, it's military city.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody thinks everybody else since it's been some time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like.
That's why I claim being a retired dependent. So
I'm not gonna make the joke.
No, we should.
I'm not gonna make the joke. You said what part of me looks like military? Like your right leg, bro.
He's like the prosthetic.
Fucking dumb, dude.
Might get canceled after this. I promise I'm not making fun of him.
He's like, it sets up everything.
Hey, you gotta find the funny in it.
Yeah, hey, you have to, man. But no,
That's hilarious.
I do get it a lot, man.
Do you ever get a chance to do you ever talk to like military people going through that stuff?
They have good insurance.
I'm sure they have their own people that do that, but
they have great insurance.
So
I'm talking about just for like the mental aspect of it. Like
I want to get more into that. I mean, I've tried, but most of the hospitals that I work with are like the ones that are the main traumas out here. So a lot of the times, if they get their leg amputated, they're going to BAMC, and they have like
it's hard to get on and do
Center
that.
Intrepid thing there, and they have like some of the latest stuff. But I hope to look to get into it more. And
so you go to University Hospital a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
That's where I went with my motorcycle accident.
Yeah,
they did great.
That's the doctors over there. They did mine.
They're fantastic there. That's
where I was born, so they had to be good.
Yeah.
Man, they pulled him out.
Hey,
they dropped me with.
Hey, that's a good hospital. Not only that, but they do a lot of training there. So they have some of the best doctors. Like again, the lead doctor that's there, he's the one that did mine. I work with him now, and so all the people that are under him, like they're.
We must have had the same doctor because they told me I had the best doctor there too. I don't remember.
What year was it?
99. It was July. It was on July 3rd at 10:00 at night in 1999. My dad had left his Harley with me. I'd ridden bikes for a long time, and he'd gone to visit my brother in Oregon.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Here's the key." He just had it for 3 weeks. This is kind of funny. And
not funny to him.
No, it gets funny. So he goes, take it out, do whatever. He goes, no big deal. And this is back with Blockbuster was a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go return a movie at Blockbuster up in Stone Oak. And I even took the safer route, what I thought. And there was water coming out on the road from sprinklers and stuff. And the back tire kind of went out. I jumped up onto a curb and I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm on the curb. I'll just go off the other side. And didn't realize there was a drainage ditch coming through the thing. And so like those little wooden posts that are like that big around, there's not one there. My left leg took that shit out. It just complete from the ground up, it just broke it. Oof. And totaled the motorcycle and everything. My dad got all of his money back because he didn't have it for a month. He got his insurance back on it. He got his full payment back. So he cost him $0. Yeah. Then he ended up getting a new one. He got put at the front of the list because back then there was a waiting list for Harleys. Yeah. And like 2 years later, he goes, don't tell your mom this, but this bike, it's a lot prettier than the last. He's like, I'm glad I could help you out, Bob.
He's like, you got me an upgrade.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Dang. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm gonna ask him. I know he's been there for a while, so I mean, he's the head of all those doctors, the trauma doctors.
It was crazy.
How many would you say that you deal with that are like kids versus adults?
Oh, I probably have 5, 6 kids and probably like 6 years. So
okay, so not too many.
Not too many. Yeah. Most of the time.
The barbacoa and Big Red hasn't hit them yet.
Yeah.
Big Red, bro.
That Big Red.
You never really, like, growing up, Big Red was it.
Yeah.
But like a can of Big Red has like 70-something grams of sugar.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Bro, you look at it, you're like, how is it not thick?
I know. You know what's so crazy is I used to work there, and that stuff stinks when they're making it. That stuff is disgusting. But to see it, it's like a gelatin. Like it's crazy.
It's so good though.
I have one in the car.
I just saw TikTok. This kid was getting interviewed in New York City on this kid stopped on the street, and he's like, "Where are you from?" The kid's from. He goes, "I'm from San Antonio." He goes, "What should we know about San Antonio?" And he goes, "Well, the breakfast tacos are like the best, and everything." And then Big Red. He goes, "What's Big Red's gum?" He's like, Big Red's gum? Because I've never. The kid
do they still make that one?
And the guy was like, "Is it cinnamon soda?"
It's not like, everywhere though. Yeah. Like a lot of people say, like from up north, like not in Texas.
Yeah.
Think the Big Red tastes like bubble gum.
That's crazy. Like the cinnamon one?
No, just like regular bubble gum.
Yeah.
Like people think it tastes like one. Like it doesn't taste like that. It tastes like Big Red. Like what you mean?
To me, it tastes like a cream.
I went somewhere. I forgot where I went. I think I was in Denver. No, I don't know. It was either Denver or North Carolina, but I went to one of these places. They didn't have. Yeah, no, I don't know where I was, but I went somewhere and they didn't have Big Red. I was like trying to look everywhere, and they were like,
yeah, they don't sell. It's mostly Texas.
I was like, what?
Like Mexican OT says, it's a Texas thing.
It's a Texas thing. Come on.
There you go. Well, what do you have going next? What's the
man? So right now I'm again.
You just sold out a comedy show. If you want.
Yeah.
Almost two of them.
Yeah, almost 2 of them.
But we didn't buy tickets. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
Come on,
my family showed up. There's the 8.
Yeah. No. So right now, again, like I just got released, man, from again when I gave up comedy. God gave me the release to go back at it. So. I'm focusing on the comedy shows and still, helping out people get prosthetic legs. But I think I'm going to take this comedy thing, man,
That's awesome.
A little bit more serious than I was the very first time. Again, I was doing a lot of stuff with celebrities, but it was just like whim things. Like, let's just do this. But now that I have a good team around me that, I got people to book shows and stuff like that. So it's gonna be exciting to see, man. Just to keep going out and telling my story and
that's cool.
And hey, trying to give people Jesus in the best way I can, man. For sure.
So we always ask everybody as we wrap kind of a couple questions.
Yeah.
Especially this will show your true Puerto San Antonio.
Let's go. Let's see.
We'll start with the burgers first.
Yeah. What's your favorite burger spot?
My favorite burger spot, I would say Brenda's Burgers on the south side. Yeah, Brenda's Burgers is top notch.
Where's that? What street is that on?
It's on Military, but it's like right when you're going over Y'all have never been to Brenda's Burgers?
Never.
Are you kidding me?
So it sounds like we're gonna have to set up lunch sometime.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
go.
set up Brenda's Burgers. I cannot believe. Yeah. Brenda's Burgers is.
Let's check it out.
It's fire. Yeah.
See, I'm super east side, so it's like I don't get that way.
What's your burger spot?
My Mr. Juicy.
Nowadays, Mr. Juicy.
Is this Mr.
It's the lime green one. They got the one.
Is that San Pedro?
San Pedro.
Yeah. That's the first one. He's got one in Northwest Military.
Okay.
And the owner's super cool. Like,
they're good. Their burgers are just great.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, someone commented on there, like, about stuff like, anytime you think a burger is trash, like, burgers are never trash.
Yeah, no.
There's really great burgers, but a burger's always a burger.
It's burger, yeah.
Burgers are always good.
The biggest thing you can fumble on a burger is if the seasoning's jacked up or if it's cold.
Yeah.
Like, those are the biggest fumbles.
Just fry it good. You don't even need to season.
Yeah, no, Brenda's Burgers is
Brenda's Burgers.
You gotta try it.
I like it. And the other question is, what's your favorite breakfast taco spot?
Cowgirls Cafe on WW White.
See, that's my area.
Yeah. Have you never been to Cowgirls Cafe?
I haven't been to
Cowgirls Cafe.
Because I usually go to Montanita on Rigsby, right next to El Típico.
Okay, yeah. I know. I'm right there.
So I'm always going to that. Like, we ran into each other at the Clever Meat Market a while back.
That is right. Yeah.
So like that's my spot. It's called Montanita right there.
Okay.
Rigsby and I think Tucker, Diane, like right there.
You gotta try Cowgirl Cafe.
Cowgirl Cafe.
Yeah, their food is.
Man, that's two new ones. I like it.
It's fire. Yeah.
Cowgirl Cafe. I like the name of that too.
Yeah. No, they got a good carne asada, and then their staff there, man, is like they're always the same people. So you go in there and they know you.
They know what you want.
Yeah, they already know what you want.
So they'll know who I am?
Not at first. Not at first, but if you keep going.
You want to talk about people knowing you? We went to we used to always go to Thai Hut right here on Bitters.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to that Club Gold class at Sabor. So we went to Thai Hut off of Callahan. And so like we go in there and sit down, and it's one of the ladies. She's now co-owner of it. They used to be a waitress over here. So I guess they help their people like open up restaurants.
Yeah.
And like literally, I hadn't seen her in probably like a year and a half. I sat down. She was like, "Oh, you want this, right?"
No.
And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh man,
she knew you."
Yeah.
See, I love that, man. That's good.
That's that Theory Coffee. That's what I love about. As soon as I walk up, like it's a little coffee truck on Ocean 410.
Okay.
And like I get out of my car, by the time I get to the thing,
know.
they've got my coffee there, and it's already ready because they know exactly what I want. And I'm like, man, this is like I feel like Norm from Cheers.
Yeah. I haven't got there yet on the coffee, but I keep having people like, oh, you should get into.
It's another addiction. It's just
I'm like
everything.
man, I don't know. See, the thing about me, I'll make it real sweet. So it's like put cocoa.
You're a big red guy.
Yeah, for real. I need to stop, man, because I see the.
You lose your other leg.
Man, hey, I'll be 7 feet tall. Look at that.
you can control your height."
Hey, I always say, if I lose my other leg, I'm 7 foot. I'm walking in there,
looking down on everybody.
Hey,
that's hilarious. Well, you present yourself 7 feet tall.
Hey, I appreciate that.
So,
Come on, man. Come on.
How can everybody follow you and support you?
I'm on Instagram at Mike G _comedy. Facebook, I'm under Memistry Garza, but you can also look me up as Mike Garza.
That's my hardest part, bro. Like, when I'm trying to send you something on Facebook, remembering what your Facebook name is.
Yeah. I always tell people, like, I have a ministry, not a ministry. I have a ministry. Like, I want to make you laugh. That's what I want to do. And again, I'm not perfect. I always tell people, man, I'm the worst one, and God just wanted to clean me up, man. And so again, if He can do it in my life, hey, imagine what He can do in y'all's.
Brother,
appreciate it.
Come on.
Let's get you connected with some of the people we had. What's his name? Manny. From the Ferrari kid.
Oh, yeah.
The Ferrari kid. Yeah.
So, yeah, we try to interview people just doing cool stuff, like really making an impact on San Antonio. It's not just like,
I work with Manny in there, man. Yeah, Manny's good people, man.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he just had that gala, that ball.
Yeah.
The thing was a blast, man, for sure.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Sure.
Well, shoot him a follow, check him out. If you know anybody that...
and if you need a leg, man, come on.
If you know anybody looking for a leg, hit them up.
Go with it. We'll give you a leg up.
Yeah. And it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's just going to cost you a leg.
Just a leg.